Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the normal distribution. What is the normal distribution? So before that, first let's understand what type of the data distribution we have. There are some scenario where you can get the data distribution like this, that most of the data chunk lie at this portion. So this is called as a positive skew data. And in some cases you can observe that the data lie near to this portion, so this is called as a negatively skewed data. But there are some cases where the data distribution is neither at this point or neither at this point. The data is distributed like some in jumbled manner, so there is no any like peak, or you cannot observe any distribution. So this type of data is called as a jumbled data. So now come to the what is the normal distribution. How we can say the data is a normal distributed. You can see in this particular example, we have 100 students in our class, and class teacher conduct one English test, and that English test was very complicated. So that's why most of the students scored between 5 to 6. You can see here most of the students scored between 5 to 6, and there are some students who also scored between 4 to 5 and 6 to 7, and there are some very less students who scored between 3 to 4 and 7 to 8. So as you can see that the major chunk of the students scored between 5 and 6. So this type of the data distribution where most of the data lie around the center, like this is our centers, and then most of the data lie around the center. So this type of the distribution is called as a normally distributed data. And if you see how the bell is like, this is the your bell, okay, that this is our bell. You can see that this is just like a bell. If I like just put this is just like a bell, so this is also called as a bell curve. So now let's understand what are the properties we have in the normally distributed data. How we can say that the data is a normally distributed. Let's understand that particular thing. If we say that the data is a normally distributed, then what condition it should satisfy? The first condition would be when the mean, median, mode lie at the center. If you see here, mean, median and mode lie at the center. So first condition is that whatever the data we have, for that data, if the mean, median, mode lie at the center, data will be considered as a normally distributed. Also symmetry about the center. It means if you see this particular diagram, our 50% data lie at the right side and 50% data lie at the left side. It means it is just like a mirror image of the both sides. Like if this is the mirror, then this is the replica of the right and this is the replica of the left. It means both are the mirror image of each other. We have already discussed about the probability distribution function in our past video, so you can refer those video if you want to understand what is the probability distribution function. So this particular portion is called as a probability distribution function. So complete area, like this particular area, this whole area is called as a 1. This whole area will be equal to 1. This is called as a 1. Normally distribution is unimodal. If we talk about the normal distribution, you can check here, this is only the one peak. There is no any more peak we can see in this particular distribution. So whatever the data, if that particular data has only one peak, like that is called as a unimodal and also will considered as a normally distributed data. And if the random variable x follow a normal distribution, then in that case normal distribution or Gaussian distribution will be a function of any value of mu or any value of sigma. Mu means mean and sigma means standard deviation. It means it could be like your x is equal to normal distribution. We can say that mean is 5, standard deviation is 0.2. So it could be any value. We can say that 0.7 and like 0.1. So mean and median could be any value for normally distributed data, but it should be a function of mu and sigma. So what are the examples? We can see that this is the height of the peoples. There are 100 peoples in your company. Okay, if you want to observe the height would be like this. There are major chunk of people will have some average height, like between, you can say, like 5.5 to 6.5 feet. So major chunk will lie in this particular region. Then size of the things produced by the machine. You are running a production based company. Okay, in that production you are preparing some bottles, so the average size of the bottles will be like this shape. Most of the size will be equal to this particular region, but there are some very less amount of the bottles which will have the size very less, but most of the size will lie in this particular region. Errors in measurement. The same way here, if you are going to measure the error, then most of the error will lie this particular region. It means most of the errors will be same and will lie at this particular region, and very less errors you will encounter. And blood pressure. So same way, blood pressure, most of the patients have a same type of the blood pressure, but very less people whose blood pressure like fluctuates. And the marks on a test. So same, we have already discussed about the marks of the test is also a normally distributed data. There are many more examples you can get over the Google if you want to try those things. So in the real world, most of the data set fall under the normal distribution data set. And there is one more property called as a population mean. Population mean, this and standard deviation completely characterize the normal distribution. So now understand how the mean and standard deviation can characterize the normal distribution. Let's understand this point in more detail. So normal distribution, population mean characterize the position of the normal distribution. How it can characterize the position, let's understand. This is your normally distributed data. Okay, and this is your actual mean. Okay, and all the data fall around this particular mean value. If we want to change the mean from this position to this position, okay, so in this case your data, because most of the data in normal distribution lie around the center, so in this case when you change the mu from mu to mu1, in that case your all the data which is lie around the mean will be shifted at the new position, you can say. So it means mu or mean can change the position of the normal distribution, but data distribution will be same. It can only change the position of the data. Second one is your standard deviation. How can standard deviation characterize your data? So let's understand this example here. This is your mu. This is your mu, it means mean. This is your mean, and this is your standard deviation. Okay, if we have a very small standard deviation, so all the data will lie in this particular region. As we had discussed earlier that most of the data chunk will be lie around the center. Whenever we have a small sigma, in that case the data distribution will be very close to the mean. If you measure this particular length, will be very less because we are using the very small sigma. If we just spread this particular more position, in that case if we have a very large mu, whenever we have a small sigma, in that case data distribution very close to the mean, but in this case your data distribution will be far away from the mean. PDF curve will be more flatter type. Why it is flatter? As we had discussed, the total area is equal to 1. So this particular area, like this particular area will be equal to this area. So if the area is same, if we compress this, then it will be wide. So you can see it is wide here from mean, and it is flattened from the top. So because the area is same, so it will be flattened from the top, and this particular distance will be widened as compared to this. So in this way standard deviation can characterize your normal distribution data. Now we will understand the what is the empirical rule, and we also called it as a 68, 95 and 99.7 rule. So let's understand what is the empirical rule. So if any normally distributed data we draw, you can see in this particular diagram, if we calculate the area between mu, this mu and sigma, mu plus sigma, between this, from this particular portion, okay, you can see in this particular example, this particular orange, this particular area mu will be equal to 68%. Okay, this particular area will be equal to your 68%. If we calculate the area between 2 sigma, it means mu minus 2 sigma, mu plus 2 sigma. So from this portion to this portion, complete portion, like your complete portion here, it means this complete portion. If we calculate this particular area like this particular area, this will be equal to your 95%. And if we calculate the 3 sigma, like your mu minus 3 sigma and mu plus 3 sigma, it means mu minus 3 sigma, mu plus 3 sigma, it means complete this particular area. This particular area will be equal to your 99.7%. So in most of the real world data set, if we draw this type of the graph, you can observe that your most of the data points fall under the 3 sigma. It means 3 standard deviation. So only a very 0.03% data will fall away from the 3 sigma, like it means third standard deviation. If you draw this particular diagram and you have 100 data set, in that data set 68 data points will fall under the first standard deviation and 95 data points will fall under the 2 standard deviation. If you have a 1000 data points, in that case 997 data points will fall under the third standard deviation. This is very important because we will use this in the standard normal distribution, how we can use this. So this is very important. So that's it from my side for today's class. If you have any question or any query, you can mention in the comment section. I hope you will like my video. If you will like, please share with your friends and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much for watching my channel. Have a nice day.